Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have missed you guys so much. I feel so happy to be back filming. I actually filmed a vlog the other day and you will see that in my next video after this one, but I thought I would pop this one up first because this is going to be a Q&A. I know a lot of you had a lot of questions that I have been sent over on my Instagram. I did like one of those anonymous ones, which I've never done before, and loads of you sent me questions, so thank you so much. And if you do want to participate in the next Q&A, make sure you follow me over on my Instagram. But yeah, we are doing a Q&A today. Get a nice drink. I actually don't have any milk in my house right now. I haven't had my first cup of tea of the day. It's the morning when I'm filming this, and I normally start my morning every morning with a cup of tea or a coffee. I don't really fancy a coffee this morning though. I really wanted a cup of tea and realised that my milk's run out. That's the worst feeling in the world. So after this video, I'm gonna go and walk to the shops and get some milk. I might go to a coffee shop and actually like edit my video and get like a matcha or something. But anyway, off on a tangent already, Sophie. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm so excited to be catching back up with you guys. I have missed you, as I said, and there were so many occasions on this break where I literally wanted to pick up the camera. I do talk about that a little bit in my vlog, which you'll see on Wednesday, I think. But I'm just gonna get straight into it, answer your questions. I know that you have probably been wondering where I've been, so let's get into this, and I really hope you enjoy. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm just gonna go through them as they are. So the first one is, as a content creator, what do you want from us viewers? What kind of comments are useful and what do you find unhelpful, apart from obviously trolls? How can we support you? This was such a good question and one that no one's ever asked me before. So obviously troll comments do not help whatsoever. They're really actually hard to deal with sometimes. It depends what kind of mental state I'm in, because if I'm in a really bad mental state, those troll comments can write me off for like a few days. I'll be thinking about it, I'll be really sad about it actually. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the mental like effects of trolling. I hear a lot of social media influencers and YouTubers and whatever you want to call them saying that hate comments don't really affect them, and sometimes they are correct. Like if you're in a good mental place, these comments do not faze you whatsoever. But as I said, if you're in a bad mental place, they can floor you. Honestly, they are so horrible to deal with. But helpful comments, I think it's just support, and I do get a lot of support, but it is really difficult because when you get that negative comment, it sort of outweighs, and it shouldn't, but it sort of outweighs the good comments. Like that's the thing that you think about the most, it's the negative. I could have like hundreds of supportive comments, and I do each month, but if I get a really horrible one, I will literally focus on that. And it's something that I'm working on because I don't want to be like that. I don't want to constantly think about the negative comments over the positive, because I really do find that the positive ones, if I didn't have any positive comments, I feel like I would have stopped YouTube a long time ago, because it's so difficult to deal with those negative. So thank you so much to everyone that does send supportive, positive comments. It really does help. You might not think that that little comment that you put means a lot, but it really does. Like it really helps me. And support wise, just keep liking, keep commenting, keep watching. Anything you do that is positive really helps me. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you guys are amazing. I get so many lovely messages, I get so much support from you guys, and I really do love you. I feel like you guys are my best friends on here, and it really does help, so thank you. I then got quite a few questions along the lines of like, how are you, how have you been, but this one says, how are you, sending lots of love. Thank you so much. I wish I knew who sent that because it's all anonymous, these ones. But yeah, thank you so much. I've been okay. I took obviously this break because I was feeling very overwhelmed. And again, I talk about this in more detail in my vlog that's coming up. But I was feeling very overwhelmed with life. I had a lot of self-doubt. I was having a lot of doubts about just my capabilities in general. My anxiety's been quite high over the past few months, and I just felt like I needed a break just to switch off, do nothing. I feel like I was burnt out, like massively. And that's not because like I'm constantly doing stuff, it's also because my mind is constantly working, like it's constantly worrying, overthinking, just stressing basically, and I felt very stressed. So I decided to take this time off for me just to do nothing. Like, and I don't normally do nothing, but I did this time. I sat and watched TV if I felt like it, without feeling guilty, may I add, because I am very prone to feeling guilty for just relaxing and doing nothing. So I watched TV, I did my therapy sessions because I'm back in therapy. I'm doing online sessions, so I do it from home. So I've been doing that. I've been watching what I eat. I've been back on keto, which I will get into, and again I talk about that in my vlog as well. So I've lost weight, I'm exercising, I'm going on more walks, I'm just doing stuff to try and help me feel better and get out of this rut, because I'm very aware that I slip into bad habits occasionally and I find it hard to get out of that. So I'm very actively trying to get out of that. But I feel so much better for doing this break. Like, I really needed it. And this was the longest time I've ever been off of YouTube. It's the longest time that I've just not done anything. I did take a week off work as well, which I booked as annual leave. So I literally did nothing for that week apart from my therapy session. I was catching up with like my family and stuff. I've just been spending time with them, with Callum. It's just been so nice. And now I've come back to YouTube feeling ready, like so ready. I feel good. I feel like I'm getting there. We had a lot of questions about moving. So there was, do you want to move house? Are you moving? House plans? And the short answer is yes, we are moving. And again, I talk about this a lot in my vlog, because there are going to be moving vlogs starting soon. So we have got a house that is lined up that we are moving into. So we're actually leaving this property at the end of August, and hopefully, this hasn't been confirmed yet, but hopefully my sister and her boyfriend are going to be moving into this house. They really want this property, and obviously with us leaving, that opens it up so they could. But we're just waiting to hear on that. And we are going to be starting to move our stuff like mid-August, so we do have until the end of August, but we're going to try and get it all done early so that we can sort out this place, give it a good clean, make sure that it's okay for the like agency. So we are very excited. The house that we are supposed to be moving into is really lovely, and again, I say in my vlog that it's like the perfect house for the time in our life that we're in right now. So I'm very excited for moving vlogs. I'm very excited to be able to decorate a new house. I'm very excited to be able to get a dog. We did actually get a question about that. I'm very excited, if you can't tell. So yeah, then that leads me on to the next question, which is, are you getting a dog? Yes, but nothing's confirmed yet. We haven't like found a dog or anything, but we are planning to. And for all of you guys that have watched me and Callum for years, you'll know how big of a dream having a dog is. And the fact that we will be one step closer makes me so happy. But we're not going to be doing it until after a trip that we're going on. Again, got questions about that. I'm just like setting myself up for these questions. But yeah, we really want a dog, and that is the plan, to get one. Then we've got, do you have any holiday plans this year, Sophie? And where's your next travel destination? Our next travel destination, which again I speak about in my vlog. I've spoken a lot about all of this stuff in my vlog, but I wanted to sort of answer these questions beforehand. Our next travel destination is Copenhagen. We are going in October, and it's going to be like a really cute autumn trip. We've never been on an autumn trip before. Normally it's like we go away winter, but like early in the year, so we'll go away for Callum's birthday in March, or we'll go away on a summer holiday. And a lot of our summer holidays have been like between June and October, but we've never been on like an autumn trip. And this trip is going to be so autumnal. I'm so excited because there's a place called Tivoli Gardens, and they decorate the whole of the park. It's like an amusement park, and they decorate all of it for Halloween and autumn, and I've looked at vlogs, and I have never been so excited for a trip in my life. I feel like it's going to be a really good one. That's a lie. I had been excited for a trip like this before, but that was Disney World. And again, we went around Halloween as well, and the park was decorated for Halloween, which was just incredible. It was so good. But yeah, Tivoli Gardens is where Walt Disney apparently got some of his inspiration for Disneyland, which that is a bit of me, honey. And it's so pretty. The colours in Copenhagen in October, like the leaves and stuff of the trees, look amazing. So I'm really excited to go there because we've never been. The next question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I've thought a lot about this recently, and in 5 years time I'm gonna be nearly 30. Nearly 30, which scares me a little bit how quickly time is going, because I'm actually turning 25 this year, which again scares the living daylights out of me, but I have a feeling that 25 is going to be the best year yet. But by the time I'm nearly 30, I feel like I'm going to be settling down. Like, me and Callum will have probably bought a house by then, because we're not in a rush to buy a house straight away, because the house that we want to get when the time comes to buying will be a renovation project. It will be, we don't want to go for a new build or anything like that. We want to make this house our home. We want to renovate it to exactly how we want it. And don't know if it'll be a forever home, but we really want the challenge of a renovation project. So I feel like by the time I'm nearly 30, we'll probably have bought a renovation project. Definitely will have been on many holidays by then. Hopefully we'll be married by then. Callum, where is it? I'd like to think we'll be engaged by then. I mean, we've got to be engaged to get married, so that's the plan. Myself and Callum will have been together for like 12 years by then, so hopefully we're married. I don't know if we'll have a child by then. That a kid is just not in the cards right now. It's just not something that either of us are bothered about having right now. I mean, if it happened, it happened. But we're not actively like planning to have a child anytime soon. Maybe like early 30s I'll be thinking about it, but in 5 years I don't think it's very likely that I'll have a child, unless I've changed my mind by then. Definitely we'll have dogs though. We'll definitely have like 2 or 3 dogs, I reckon. If it was Callum's way, we'll probably have about 7 dogs on like a big farm or something. But really, I just want to be in a good place mentally. Like, I want to have sorted out all of my stuff, all of my baggage by the time I'm 30, especially before I have a child as well. I've always said that I want to sort out my own life before I have a child. But yeah, I just want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to be successful. I feel like those are like the typical things that you'd want in the next 5 years. I'm hoping that there will be loads more people in our little community over here on YouTube. And yeah, I just want to, when I picture myself at 30, I picture just like a really happy, like best version of me. That is what I want in the next 5 years. I think this is an assumption, because I think I put on Instagram assumption/questions, but someone's put, you make quite a bit of money from YouTube. I don't really talk about the money side of YouTube. I don't think I ever will, because I don't really feel like it's appropriate, and I feel like in this current climate it's not appropriate to talk about money. But what I will say is it's not like hundreds of thousands of pounds, because if that was the case I wouldn't need to have a part-time job, although I actually think I probably still would. Again, that's another question that I've got to go on to, but money-wise I'm not struggling, if that makes sense. But I obviously will never discuss figures, or I don't know, I feel like it's a very personal thing to put online, and if someone was to message me directly and ask me about like advice to do with finances on YouTube and stuff, I of course would help people, but I feel like it's a big thing to be putting out on the internet. Someone sent me a question. Do you think Callum will propose? He bloody better. He bloody better. He will, guys, he will. But when? I have no idea. I feel like in my head I have a feeling it's going to be this year. I have told a few people that I think it's going to be this year, and there has obviously been more talk of it this year between me and him, and it's going to be our 7th year together this year, like at the end of this year. So who knows? You'd be better off asking him that question. This is another assumption. You're quite a shy person with a small group of friends. Love your channel, by the way. Thank you. Yes, I am. So it's very easy for me to come across as like confident on camera when I'm sat in this little room on my own talking to a camera. It's so easy for people to think that I'm a confident person. I would say that I'm not. I am quite a shy person if I'm meeting people for the first time. If you're a new person, if you're a stranger, I will be shy. Like, I'm not a loud person, I'm quite quiet. I'm very aware of that. I'm an introvert, so yeah. I do have a small group of friends. I'm very happy with my group of friends that I have. I find it quite hard to make new friends. I think I struggle with trusting people, especially females, and that will be something to do with school, because I really struggled with female friendships in school. I've always been like that, but again, that is something that I'm working through in therapy, because I would love to have like a few more friends, but at the same time I'm very, very content with the friends that I have. I have Sophie. She is literally my best friend. She's always there for me, although I'm probably not the best person to get hold of, but she's always there for me when I need her, and I'm obviously always there for her too. Yeah, definitely shy and definitely have a small group of friends. Right, I'm going to try and get through the rest of the questions because there's still quite a few more and I want to answer all of them, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as I can. Someone's put, is it hard doing part-time work and social media too? Would you be better doing one or the other for your own happiness? I actually feel like having a part-time job is really good for me. I'm not being funny, guys. I could not do YouTube full-time right now. Financially, I don't earn enough to do full-time YouTube, hence why I have a part-time job. But I feel like even if I was earning bloody hundreds of thousands of pounds a month, I would still have a part-time job, because for my own mental health, it gets me out of the house. I get to socialise with people. I actually enjoy the job that I'm doing as well, which is really good. But I feel like I would still be doing that unless I had that much work that it took up so much time of my week for YouTube that I would have to leave my part-time job. But at the moment, YouTube doesn't feel like it needs to be a week-long thing. Like, it doesn't take up enough of my time to do YouTube full-time. So until then, I will have a part-time job, because I feel like it really does get me out of the house and socialised, and I would go stir crazy if I didn't have a job to go to. Someone else has put, do you think it's time to leave YouTube? You've had a few starts, restarts now, and seems to be a lot of unnecessary stress for you. So again, I spoke about this a little bit in my vlog that's coming up. I don't think it's time to leave YouTube, because the breaks are never to do with YouTube. They're always to do with my mental health, and my mental health is not affected by YouTube unless there's troll comments. Sometimes that does affect me, but other than that, it doesn't affect my mental health. What affects my mental health is things that have happened in the past, which again, I don't go into like detail in my vlog, but I do speak a little bit about sort of my background. Again, don't go into detail, and I never will go into detail on it, because it's a very private thing. It was like very traumatic things that happened in my life that do affect my mental health now as an adult, and that then affects how I feel about YouTube, how I feel about myself. It's not the opposite way round. But I feel like if I continue to carry on working on myself, healing myself, this won't be an issue anymore. I feel like that makes sense. Then someone has asked, and this is funny because I haven't mentioned that I'm on keto again, but someone said, what is your favourite keto meal? I actually did a TikTok the other day and I posted like 5 different meals that I have been loving. But one of my favourite meals is the keto pancakes that I make. I make it with almond flour and they are so nice. And then there's also a peanut butter chicken curry, which again, I love. It has like coconut milk, it has peanut butter. Edamame beans, it's just so good. And then I've been loving like my chicken salads. I've really been packing them full of veg and it's just been so nice. Like I've really been enjoying the keto meals that I've been having at the moment. Then someone's put, would you ever consider doing YouTube full time? I feel like I've answered that a little bit in the last questions. I feel like the only time I would consider it is if I had that much work that I needed to. Someone else has put, how did you deal with mental health in school and how did you tell your mum if you were struggling? God, I don't think I dealt with my mental health very well in high school. I think I've touched upon this a little bit on my channel, but I don't go into much detail because I don't feel like there's much need to go through it all again. But I did have quite a troubled school life. Like I constantly had issues with people. I constantly got criticised by people. I constantly got hated on by people. And that really affected my life. My school didn't really help either. Like my mum to this day is still so angry with my school. I did tell my mum when I was struggling eventually, like I had to. An event happened and I had to tell her. I don't know how to talk about this without it getting really deep. Like I don't want this Q&A to be really deep, but it got to the point where telling my mum was really important for me because I could not continue. I feel like talking about how you feel is so important, especially if you're in a really, really low place. It's always better to get someone to talk to you about it because it is incredibly lonely feeling that way without having anyone knowing, and it really does help as well talking about it. So please, if you're struggling, please talk about it with someone. It's very hard to approach, but the way that I would approach it now is, Mum, can I talk to you please? Can we sit down for like half an hour? I have something that I really want to talk to you about. Have a sit down conversation and I would just come out and say, I'm really struggling. This is what I'm struggling with. And hopefully if you've got an understanding parent, I know that not everyone is so lucky to have an understanding parent, and you'll be able to have that conversation with them. If not, find someone that you trust, a friend, another family member, a therapist. Find someone that you can talk to and that they'll understand. I know that therapists, you don't really trust them straight away because they are a stranger, but at least they have like a non-biased opinion and they can listen to you and you'll be able to talk about how you feel without judgment. But I would say that school was probably one of the hardest times of my life, so I do understand if you have asked this question and you're in school and you're struggling. I do understand how you're feeling because I found school so difficult, but it does get better, and now that I'm an adult I understand how it gets better because you're not in that environment anymore. I just thought school was a really toxic environment and I really, really hated it, but it does get better. I promise you it does. And now we're ending it with, when will your autumn content start? And the answer to that is normally at the end of August, start of September, I tend to do my autumn content. In my vlog, there is a little bit of a mention of autumn. I do show you some things actually that I've picked up over the past month or so. So I will start trickling in autumn stuff, but I don't think the actual autumn content will start until like the 1st of September. That's when we'll go full-blown autumn. But with the weather that we've been having recently, I wish I could just start it now, but it's not really appropriate. I will start it in September, I promise. So that is the end of my Q&A, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a like if you did enjoy it. Also subscribe to my channel if you're new. Also, speaking of autumn, has anyone noticed that I've got a honey pumpkin candle burning? It really smells autumnal in here, and I've been I've been using the winter essential oil in my diffuser. Because over here in this house, it may as well be autumn actually. But I really hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I will see you in the next video, which is next week. It's a vlog, and then I will be posting videos going forward from next week. But I wanted to get this one out first so that we could have a little catch up before I come back. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Thank you so much for all of your messages over the past month, checking up on me, seeing how I am. I had a lot of messages over the past couple of days saying that you missed me, and I missed you guys too. So thank you so much. You are always so lovely, and I love you guys. Bye.